go first.
Yeah, just opening thoughts on just kind of how the first few days of practice have gone for you.
I think there's great energy out here. We're talking about dominating the details, and when we're installing our stuff and seeing the players, how quickly they pick it up, and then just trying to get better every day. And so we've had 4 installs right now. We're putting a fair amount in. We want to get some stuff in, especially on offense, maybe even a little bit more than defense. I think the players are handling it really well.
What else has been on your plate the last 6 days or so?
This is it, man. I mean, I'm all in, and I am so excited to be here. I feel great about this group of players and coaches. I'm happy to be part of it and play the role that I'm supposed to play. And, I just happen to believe that we can do something, that we're going to make progress. And we got a long way to go, but we got a bunch of really hard-working players and coaches who are, I'm going to believe, committed to each other to do everything we need to do to make this a special year.
You spent a little extra time with the linemen out there. How important is that for you to stay back and do that on the first day of practice, but then also for the players to kind of see you spending that extra time to help them to kind of look like shape up on the details? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, hey, it all starts up front on both sides of the ball. And of course, my dad and my brother were both offensive linemen, so the importance of O-line play, and I think the tradition of O-line play here at Stanford is pretty good, and so it all starts there. And so we just got to be fanatical about the details. We got to have great effort and be super physical. And so what I've seen from our offensive line so far is very positive. We make good progress in our run game, in our 4 practices, and and the pass protection has been solid.
What's your sense of the mood of the guys right now? Seemed a bit of competitive energy, competitive fire out there today.
No, it was really good competitive fire out there today. That's what we want. We're going to practice with relentless effort, and because that's what it takes to get better and to be great. And I thought today the defense particularly had a lot of energy and was physical. Offensively we had some good periods. Offense had a really good red zone 7-on-7, making a really big step from the previous week. I thought the defense really was flying around today. And that's what we talked about. We can be super physical out in practice and still be smart and take care of each other. And I think they showed that today.
What's the goalpost? Obviously you have goals for the season, but you have so long before now and then, or between now and then. What's the goalpost for the spring season that you're hoping to get out of these guys?
Establish the standards that we're going to live by, every day. And the consistency. These are our standards. This is what we're going to do. We're going to commit to each other. And then, we want to put consistent effort and focus and detail into the work that we do out here. Because, that process will bring the results that we want. And we got 15 days of practice. We can't waste a rep. We can't waste a period. And I think the guys understand that and are committed to making the most of every rep we get out there.
Just kind of thoughts on the quarterback unit, having worked with them, that was your position. Just talk about what you've seen from that group so far.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think Coach Merck, does a great job with them, and quarterbacks are really embracing what we're doing. There's a few adjustments that we're making. I can feel from last week to this week, like the progress. All 4 of them have looked good out there. So, I mean, they've all flashed and excited about that. So we'll just kind of keep that rolling.
How much or how little was potentially changing on offense? What can you share with us about the plan this spring on that side?
First of all, I wouldn't share all of it, and some of it is TBD, you know what I mean? Like, we're starting with what was here, because that's what makes sense. And, but, I can also feel each passing day, we're kind of migrating. I'm working with the offensive coaches to say, hey, tell me about the players. What do they do best? Let's all kind of pull our minds together on the best of what we've done. How do we need to adjust what we've done here in the past? Change the philosophy just a little bit, because I have a different philosophy. And a lot of these coaches, even though it's a young staff, have still coached a lot of football. So when I'm saying what I believe in the philosophy, it's like we're all on the same page. So the key for us, though, is don't overwhelm the players. Find the things find the small pockets that we can make significant difference and run those plays over and over again.
Would you kind of identify your offensive philosophy as a coach more passing, air it out oriented, more running oriented, or just kind of, how would you kind of describe kind of the ideal offensive tempo and style that you like to play from a run versus pass distribution standpoint? If that makes sense.
We want to dictate the game on offense. What that means is we want to run the ball on our terms when we want to run it, and we want to throw it on our terms, when we want to throw it. The whole point of this game is trying to impose your will on the other team. So, we want to have a balanced offense. We want to run the football. That's part of Stanford's tradition, on offense to be good running the football. Any success that I've had in the NFL as a coach were on teams that ran the football well. So we're gonna run the football well, but you can't get to where you want to get to unless you can do both. And so we got to find ways to be good playmakers in the run and the pass game. And at the end of the day, situational, third down, red zone, 2 minute, those are going to be key areas of emphasis as well.
You must like, final question, just kind of on the run game, you must like the depth you got at running back, Altair, Chris Davis Jr., Cole Tabb. Just talk about that unit and the depth that you have at that particular spot.
Yeah, I feel good about that group. And physical runners, good balance, good, just a little bit I've seen, good vision. So good room. I'm excited about the running backs for sure.
Any final questions? You done? Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Perfect.
Hey,
Thanks,
can you guys just introduce yourself one more time, just because I'm trying to